Hey there, Battletech fans. I want to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter that just finished and what a wild ride, right? I think everyone, well, maybe not everyone, but I certainly was surprised. I was just coming back to the game a couple months before the Kickstarter officially was announced, and I was starting to collect some battle mechs. I got a couple games of the Armored Combat, got a beginner box or two, and just started putting some mechs together and started thinking about painting him. And then all of a sudden, this Battletech Kickstarter comes out with more of these gorgeous mechs from Catalyst, just like the ones in the Game of Armored Combat box. And my prayers are answered. Like I love the 8 mechs that come in that a Game of Armored Combat box. There's only 8 of them. And I'm a big Inner Sphere fan. I love the Inner Spheres, and I'm going to pose a question at the end of this video for those clan enthusiasts out there. They're going to kind of help me make some decisions on the insanity that I engaged in on the Kickstarter. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So 8 models, 9 models if you include the unique model from Catalyst from the beginner box set. 8 gorgeous plastic sculpts. Love them. Got a couple boxes of those. Currently painting through some of those. I've got a lot of Karita mechs. I've got plans on doing some House Davion. I've got some plans on doing a couple Merc companies. I might maybe even have some plans to do a Comstar small little force just to kind of help with the succession wars and the reunification wars and all the goofiness that happened on Tukid? I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce it, but the thing where Comstar basically wiped out all the clans. I'm getting back into the lore, folks, and I'm loving it. So back on track here. Lots of mechs in those new boxes, but there's only 8 or 9 of them, right? And there's a lot of mechs in the universe. Now there's probably hundreds of mechs. I don't know how many there are, but there's a lot of really common ones, and 8 is certainly not the panoply of the most common ones. So how am I going to go get more mechs? Well, of course you can go to Iron Wind Metals. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of metal models. I'll take them if I have to. I got some Jenners. I got some other mechs from Ironwind Metals. Recently. I even got some mongooses and some urban mechs, and I love those sculpts. I think they're fantastic. But to me, Ironwind Metals, those are good mechs. They're a little bit hit and miss in terms of sculpt, but bigger issue for me with metals is I'm just not a big fan of metals. I like plastic mechs. They don't chip as much. They're easier to transport. Um, Long story short, I'm just not it's easier to, you don't have to pin them. Long story short, just a bigger fan of plastic or resin mechs. So 8 or 9 mechs in those box sets. Here comes the Kickstarter with ridiculous levels of unlocked mechs, and I'm looking to myself, well, I'm going to get on this, but at what level? And so, I don't want to get into too many personal details of what level of insanity I went to. Who am I kidding? Let's talk about it. So I originally went with Blood Named. And so with that, you obviously get it's the Clan Invasion Kickstarter. So you get the 5 mechs and a star, I believe they call it. It's not a lance, it's a star. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm really plugged in with the Inner Sphere stuff. Clans has always been a little bit of a I played Battletech a lot in the 80s, early 90s, and Clans had just come out. Um, it's not that I didn't like clans, but it was more like there was a power curve associated with them, and that was way before battle value. It's like, okay, clans are really changing the dynamic of the game. It's not that I didn't like them. It's just more of like, hey, I like the Inner Sphere stuff. They're a little bit older, a little bit kind of goofier looking. They're not quite as clean and polished. They're a little bit more, rugged or less sophisticated design, and going through the succession wars and all the fallout with the Lost Tech and whatnot. Like having kind of those limitations and those classic designs on the Inner Sphere mechs just really kind of spoke to me. And so when the clans come along, it's not like I ran away from them. It's like it just wasn't my thing, right? It wasn't my jam nearly as much as it was with the Inner Sphere stuff. So along comes these armored a game of armored combat boxes. I eat up all those mechs. Now comes the Clan Invasion Kickstarter, and you get the 5 mechs in the clan the starter box for the clan stuff, but we start getting all these unlocks and all these unlocks for the Inner Sphere stuff. And when I first saw the pictures for the Kickstarter, I saw that there was that game or that box of like the Marauder and the Archer and the Warhammer, I think it is, and like there's that initial picture we all saw of that inner sphere lance. Like, oh my God, are they going to make more inner sphere mechs? It's like, okay, well, I'm going to hop on that clan Kickstarter, but I'm really hoping for a lot more inner sphere mechs, and they did not disappoint. So we've obviously had a ton of unlocks, and so I started with Blood Named late in the game, maybe a couple days before the end of the Kickstarter. I was like, look, I pledged a little bit extra money. It's like, look, I want to get more mechs, getting in at the buy-in at $25 for a clan star or $20 for an inner sphere lance. Like, how can you go wrong putting a little extra scrizzy roll against that Kickstarter? I'm going to get myself some more mechs, right? Well, now I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, well, I started with Blood Named. I put some more money in it. It was like, well, I might as well just go Star Colonel and get all of the additional mechs plus the free salvage box that come with all those levels. And now there's the named mechs for those iconic characters and whatnot. So you're gonna get a lot of mechs with Blood Named. If you go in at the precise level of Blood, or sorry, at Star Colonel, if you go in at the precise level at Star Colonel, you're gonna get 55 plus mechs. Now, maybe put in a little bit more than that, who knows? But the point is that I really went into the clan Kickstarter with the notion of getting a whole lot of inner sphere mechs. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it looks like they're going to do all these mech packs in retail. So eventually I'll just pick up all the clan mechs in retail. I'll double down on the mechs that I like for Inner Sphere. I'm gonna go double down, once it's out, once everything's kind of shipped, or at least most of it's shipped, because they've said it themselves, they're not gonna ship everything on day one, right? So it's gonna be a trickle of all of these new mech designs and mech packs getting trickled out there. But I'm kind of rethinking that a little bit. I'm looking at the clan stuff, and those are some gorgeous looking mechs. And I guess my thinking is I'm probably going to keep doubling down on the inner sphere stuff, but I might get one more mech pack above and beyond that initial star that comes in the what looks like the clan kind of intro box. The one that it comes with an executioner, a Timberwolf, a Nova, a Grendel, and an Adder. And to me, those all look wonderful. I have no idea what those things are. I mean, I know what a Timberwolf is. I know what a Mad Cat is. Everyone's very, it's the 70-ton Omni-Mech that, it's very iconic. It's probably one of the most iconic mechs in the game. I kind of know what that is, but above and beyond a Timberwolf or a Mad Cat, I kind of don't know what these things are. I think I know what a Thor and a summoner is now. Um, but beyond that, I don't really know what these mechs are or what they do, and I haven't really had the time to sort of look at it in any level of detail. But so if I get like 12 packs of mechs with that pledge level, Star Colonel pledge level, I was thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to go double 12 packs of Inner Sphere mechs. I'll get the 1 star from the actual Clan Invasion Kickstarter box set contest. But now I'm thinking it's like maybe I'm going to get 10 or 11 packs of the Inner Sphere mechs. And maybe I got to think it's like, well, I don't know what clan I would paint them in. And I started thinking, well, Jade Falcon looks pretty cool. I don't really know much about them. So I was looking on Sarna a little bit. It's like, okay, well, they've kind of got a grievance with the clan Wolf. I don't know if I got that 100% right, but there's the Wolf clan. And they're kind of the big bad, and they took on Kerensky's name, and they're sort of the heir apparent of Kerensky. And Jade Falcon's always sort of felt like, well, they're always a bridesmaid but never a bride. They haven't really gotten the honor or the credit or the respect that they deserve, and they're always kind of fighting for that, and whatnot. And I just kind of like the iconography. I don't necessarily know a whole lot about the backstory, which I'm learning about, but in my head, I'm thinking it's either going to be Clan Wolf or Clan Jade Falcon. I'm thinking Jade Falcon. Just I want a small force. And I guess what I'm getting at is I'd love recommendations for, okay, well, if I got another star of clan mechs above and beyond the star that you get as part of the intro pack, what star would you recommend? Not knowing much about clan mechs, if I'm gonna have another set of mechs, which mechs would you recommend I get? Like I'm looking through all of the mech packs that are available as part of the clans, and it's a dizzying array of different stars that you can get. I mean, just scrolling through them now. There's a command star, which I think is what you get No, that's actually different. The Shadow Cat, Storm Crow, Summoner, Dire Wolf, and Mist Lynx, that's different than the things that you get in the box set. I mean, that looks cool. I get a Clan Heavy Striker Star with a Gargoyle, Hellbringer, Mad Dog, a bunch of these other things. Like, I honestly, I haven't even heard of some of these before. I've heard of Nova Cat. I think I've heard of Kit Fox and Fire Moth in the Fire Star, the Support Star. I'm guessing that these mechs are all kind of like they follow the same lines in terms of support, support, assault, heavy, medium, light. Um, but I guess I'm a little like I don't know which ones would make sense for me to get if I'm gonna get one more pack of mechs to have a rounded, reasonable clan Jade Falcon star, kind of do a little bit of mix and match. What would you get? What would you recommend? What do you like? Um, Also, is Clan Jade Falcon, is that, tell me a little bit about your favorite things about the lore on that clan. I'm starting to digest that a little bit, but, like I said, I'm a pretty diehard Inner Sphere guy, but I would be kind of cool to have a little bit of clan stuff in there to sort of mix it up occasionally. I would love your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Like, where did you double down on the Kickstarter? Where did you go? What are you excited for? And give me a little bit of feedback. Like if I'm going to get another star of Clan Mechs, what would you get? Comment below. And thanks for listening.